welcome to the Planet Pearl podcast. My name is Pearlin and this is a podcast about knitting, crochet and all the crafty things I make from my home in Christchurch, New Zealand. If you're new here, welcome. I hope you will spend some time with me, and if you're returning, thank you so much for choosing to spend your time with me today. It is my hope that in sharing my creative journey, you will also be inspired to share your projects and your thoughts and your ideas so that we can build a creative community around slowcraft. So today I thought that I will do a little review of my 2021 projects, a few projects that I have finished since I spoke to you last, a few works in progress and a couple of pretty things that came in the mail for me. Before we move on, a very happy new year to you all. I hope that this new year will be a blessed one for each one of you. In 2021, I finished a few projects that had been works in progress for a very long time. The first one that I finished was my pearl sweater. It seemed like I worked on it forever, but then when I finally finished it, I was thrilled with the fit of it, and I have worn it a lot during winter. And then I worked on my campsite shawl. There were a few bumps working on that pattern because I could not properly read the chart. I'm really new to reading charts, so it was a little bit difficult for me, but eventually I finished that as well, and I really loved how it turned out. It was a really nice knit for me, and it went so well with my pearl sweater as well, so I was wearing both of them together as an outfit for winter a lot. And then I finished 2 embroidery projects. Both of them were my own designs. It was so much fun to draw them out and then embroider them. I've given away both of them. I don't have them, but I will try and insert pictures in this video somewhere. And then I finished my striped quilt, which was single cot size, I believe. It was for my friend, so I was very happy to finish that one because that was another project that was a work in progress for a very long time. So even though it seemed to me like I did not finish a lot of projects in 2021, now that I think about it, it seems like that I have quite a few projects finished, and it makes me really happy that I have some of the works in progress ticked off my to-do list, and it's finished now. I've given away almost all of it except my pearl sweater and my campsite shawl. My focus for 2022 is going to be finishing all my works in progress that I started in 2021 and before that. I have quite a few, and I tried to finish them last year, really couldn't do that, but I am a really slow maker and I enjoy the process more than the product itself, and that's one of the main reasons I don't have many of my finished projects, because I hardly keep the things I make. But in saying that, I'm also very choosy about to whom I give my projects. So my focus for 2022 is to only make projects that bring me joy, to finish the projects that I already have, and maybe along the way I will try and learn something new. But then I don't want to be doing projects that I'm really tired of. I'm thinking that I will either frog them if I don't want to do them anymore, or give them away to Salvation Army. So I make only things that bring me joy. On to finished objects now. First project that I finished is the classic ribbed hat by Pearl Soho. It's a free pattern on the Pearl Soho website. By the way, you can find all the details of my projects on the description bar. You can click on more and then it will open up with all the links and everything that I talk about. Coming back to the hat, this is a gift knit. Like I said, I rarely make gifts for people that I don't know at all, unless I know that they will really like what I make. I don't make things for other people. but I made an exception for the person I made this hat for, because they asked me very sweetly. I'm really happy I made this hat. This is a really nice calming knit. When I was knitting this hat, I was going through one of the craziest periods of my life, and I would knit a little bit and then go on to do whatever I had to do for the day, and it helped me calm down quite a bit. It's just a simple, very mindless pattern that is just knit and rib, knit and knit and purl. So that's what I did. It was very quick as well. I really enjoyed this hat pattern, and it's a great gift knit. So the yarn that I used for this hat is called rosewood wool. This is a New Zealand Romney wool that was hand dyed in the Waikato region by two ladies. They don't dye anymore. I really like this yarn, and it's called Olive Stokes, and the person that this hat is for chose the color of the yarn. I used a 4mm 16-inch cord chagu needles. They are my favorite for knitting, whatever I'm knitting. I love chagu needles. I made the adult size and cast on 120 stitches. Yeah, I cast on 120 stitches, and these two stripes were not in the pattern, but I decided to add it just for fun, you know, to break the monotony of it. And I made 3 rows here and then 2 rows on top of it, and I really like how it turned out. I hope my friend will like it. And oh, and the color that I used for this green is called Peace Kabul. No, it's called Peace Caboose. It's the same Romney wool yarn, hand dyed by the Rosewood Wool Company. It's not a very complicated pattern at all. It's a very simple and easy knit, and I really enjoyed. I'm not wearing it because I want to gift it, and I don't want to gift something that I've tried on or something like that. Yeah, so that is my first project. The second project I finished is flower crochet bunting. It's loosely based on the Japanese crochet flower. It was all the rage way back, and I have made a couple of shawls with the Japanese flower pattern. This is not exactly the pattern, but kind of modified it. This bunting is for my craft room window. I just love buntings. I have 2 or 3 buntings around the house now. I wanted to have these buntings for my window. So this is the bunting that I made. I have a ton of cotton yarn in my stash. When I lived in Kuwait and India, I crocheted a lot with cotton yarn because of the weather there. And so, as we tend to do, I accumulated a lot of cotton yarn when I was there. I still have a huge stash back in India of just cotton yarn and some acrylic yarn. But I brought some with me here, and even that is a lot. So I'm trying to reduce my stash. I'm not sure if I will make a dent in my stash, but I'm working on it. You know how it goes. This yarn is called Laura Cotton, and it's from a company called Lotus International, and it's made in India. It is a DK weighting cotton, although I've never knitted with it. It's really nice to crochet with. But I think if I knit with it, I will probably use a wooden needle. It doesn't seem like DK weight to me. It seems a little thinner than that. I'm not an expert and I don't know, but I think so. So I made 17 of these flowers, and then for the end I made this flower. There's no pattern for it. I just made it up as I went, and I used a 3.25mm Addy swing hook. I tried to hang it with blue tack the other day. So it's a bit heavy, so it fell down. So I will have to get those combat hooks and hang them. So that's my plan for these. So that's my 2 finished objects. Moving on to works in progress, I have a few projects that I have been alternating between since the new year. I cast on my New Year's Day sock. Yarn that I'm using is from Mama Wooling's cast on calendar. Colorway is called Botanical, and it came with a matching mini with it. So I cast on. My plan was to do a contrasting or a different colored a different color cuff, heel and toe, but I'm not sure if I will have enough yarn for that. So I just did 5 rows of the contrasting color. Then I went on to work with the botanical colorway. I have just finished the cuff, and I have not even finished 5 rows. I think it's still a very small stage. So I cast on both of the socks together. I have these two because it was the new year and the time was going on. I used my little alarm clock. Can't remember from where I got it, but it's a little alarm clock, old-fashioned alarm clock. It was part of the Beauty and the Beast. It's cute, and I thought that it would be appropriate for the new year because we were counting down time. And then I have a little heart with the New Zealand flag on it. So those are my works in progress, and I have it in Mama Wooling's project bag. So that's my first work in progress. The next project I have cast on is also a sock, but this time I am doing the magic loop cast on for it. This is the first time I'm making a sock with a magic loop method. I wanted to try the Hermione's sock pattern, but I was really intimidated by that. I went on to Ravelry and I checked the pattern because it's a free pattern. I think everyone knows that except me. Anyway, I went to check on the pattern, and it called for a 2.25 millimeter circular needles. I searched in my stash for a 2.25 millimeter circular needles. I didn't have any. I only had a 2.75 millimeter needles. I thought that I will see if I get gauge with this needle. If I don't, then I was going to order for a new pair, but then I got the right gauge, so I didn't want to wait to cast on, and so I cast on immediately. I cast on 64 stitches, 1 by 1 rib, and then went on to do the pattern. This is a 4 repeat pattern, and for each repeat I have added a stitch marker. I have finished 10 repeats. There has to be a total of 18 repeats, I think. I really love the texture of it. It's the first time I'm doing a sock with a texture pattern on it. I really love the pearl bumps. It's so subtle, but it's also very effective, and it is simple as well. I was quite intimidated before I started this pattern, but not now. I'm planning to do just the heel flap and gusset heel for this one. I will decide what to do when I get to the heel part. Until then, I'm just enjoying working only on this sock for a while now. I did work on other projects a little bit, but this is the one that I've been working on a lot. I wanted to do the Hermione pattern on the botanical colorway, but then I was too scared to use that yarn. I didn't want to spoil it. I decided to use this one. This yarn is a Regia Opal sock yarn, I think, and I had made a sock up until the heel of it because I was in the early stages of sock knitting. I dropped a few stitches and I didn't know how to pick them up again. So I frogged the whole thing. And I had that yarn sitting, and so I thought that I will try making this pattern with this sock because this is a quite sturdy, hardy sock that I have knit and frogged quite a few times, trust me. And I have it in this old favorite project bag, the Rifle Paper Company fabric, Little Roses. Yeah, it matches. Can't wait to finish this project as well. So the next project that I have been working on is my crochet weekender blanket. This has been one of my longest work in progress. I worked quite a lot on it, so yeah, I'm making progress on this blanket. That it's coming along really nicely, but I think once it's done, Amber is going to claim it as hers because she just loves it, and I have to hide every time I'm working on this one. So that's my other work in progress. Moving on to pretties in the mail. I finally received my Sojourner cover. after a long wait. It's a lovely black with brown, and I love that combination. And it has a pocket in the front, and there is also a little slit here where you can tuck in your cards or whatever. And there was a card that came with it with a note from Rowena. I got Enoch and Speck, so that's what it's called. I will link their website down below for you if you are interested, and it's beautiful. I just love it. I also got a sticker. It's a teacup, and it says documenting life as it happens. My journal and my cover, and this is one of my yearly splurges. I save up all year for that. That's my Sojourner cover and Hobonichi journal. Then I also got this beautiful art print for my home. It's called Floral Cottage by a local artist called Katie Wilson, and her company is called In My Backyard. So got this little cozy home sticker from her. I love it. It's really beautiful, both of these. I will probably hang it in my craft room. In other news, I've started biking again. I learned to bike a very long time ago, and I have not biked at all after. But now I have started biking. I have not forgotten how to ride a bike, but it's still a learning curve for me, and I'm getting better with each time. It's really fun. I really enjoy it. I haven't been watching much Netflix lately. Most of the time we are watching FBI Files on YouTube. But I did watch 2 movies. One is called Just Mercy, and it is based on a real life biography, and another one called A Time to Kill. Both of them I really liked. Just Mercy kind of shook me, and then A Time to Kill is more dramatized, but also quite thought-provoking, I would say. So those are the 2 things that I have been watching. Our holidays are almost over, and it's back to work and school for all of us. I'm hoping that I will be able to do a podcast at least every 2 weeks. That's my plan, but I'm not sure how busy the year is going to be for me. I may not even have time to breathe, but I think it's good to have a plan. And if it doesn't work, it's okay. I can do a podcast at least a month. I do miss coming on here and chatting about all my creative things, and I would really love it if you would also talk back to me through the comments. And I'm hoping that I will be able to do podcasts more regularly. That's it from me. Until next time, happy crafting. Bye.